The Out of Bounds Show podcast is brought to you by Boar's Head, premium meats, cheeses, and hummus. Boar's Head, compromise elsewhere.
WRKS Pickens Jackson.
All systems go.
Live from the Whiskey 61 Lounge inside the BankPlus Studio.
Is now morning.
Live in the studio. It's the Out of Bounds Show with Bo Bounds. Streaming live worldwide on the Out of Bounds radio app. And on your radio at ESPN 105.9.
All set? Let's go.
The Zone. On the Out of Bounds radio. On your radio at ESPN 105.9.
All set? Let's go.
The Zone.
It's almost like it's a Friday on a Wednesday. What's happening, all you crazy people? Good morning. Welcome in to your SEC football show of choice, mixed in with a big old helping of y'all lifestyle. We are the sports and entertainment show of choice in the state of Mississippi. Out of Bounds, 105.9 The Zone, WRKS, ESPN. We are powered by our friends at the Golden Moon Casino Sportsbook, an award-winning Dancing Rabbit Golf Club. You can stream us live on the Out of Bounds radio app. Man, that app's cool. And man, you guys hammer it. And I love it. Blake and I love it. The Out of Bounds radio app. Go ahead and give yourself an early Thanksgiving present for free, full of football and food and nonsense. That's what that app is driven by. The Out of Bounds radio app. Pretty much all of our giveaways will go through there the next couple of weeks, so we're looking forward to that. We'll do another Muddy Water Camo giveaway next week. Man, they're just loading us up. Super, super duper excited about that. I've got Blake Mania with me. This is Blake's last show of the week. He has made it to Thanksgiving. From Labor Day to Thanksgiving's pretty intense for us. Also, a lot of fun. But Blake Mania made it, got through a bachelor party in Vegas, and hey, his favorite holiday somehow is tomorrow. So we'll talk about we'll talk about that. I mean, who doesn't want some soggy turkey and dressing? All right. So the Farm Bureau Insurance call-in line is 601-995-1059. I'm still on the road on remote. And Twitter handle @BowBounds. And your Ag Up equipment, Mississippi Ag. Fine folks there. Mississippi Ag, Ag Up equipment. Here, tip of the cap to all the farmers in the great state of Mississippi and landowners and so on. Ag Up equipment text line, 601-885-3776. And want to welcome you in. Happy Thanksgiving to you and your family. And here's to crispy bacon and delicious Breezy Oaks Ranch sausage and bacon and a Tito's Vodka Bloody Mary tomorrow morning for you, maybe around 10:30 as you pregame for your feast, Thanksgiving style. And still not sure how, Blake's he's been a hell of well, he's more of an executive producer. He's more than that, but I don't know the title, and I've never been a title guy. But, don't know how, Blake makes Thanksgiving the number one holiday. I can't wrap my brain around that.
Not me. Life makes Thanksgiving the number one holiday.
Football,
food, family, hatred between two fan bases. I mean, what else could you ask for?
Stinkville, baby.
Yes,
Stinkville.
sir.
That's what this is. This game comes down to who can win in Stinkville. Like I said, Twitter handle @BowBounds. Want to welcome you in and say good morning. We've covered a lot of the Egg Bowl this week. The Golden Egg. The battle for the Golden Egg, according to who? Jack Crystal. Jack Crystal did not like the fact that some Clarion Ledger journos decided to rename the game. I'm going to go with Jack Crystal over, some Ledger journos. But anyway, the battle for the Golden Egg tomorrow night. Ole Miss at MSU. Y'all know the deal. It's basically a pick 'em. Vegas liked Ole Miss by 2. The public, which usually doesn't know what they're doing, moved it to MSU by a point and a half. And so, hey, the take out the emotion. Vegas has Ole Miss as a favorite. The public moved the line. Wherever you want to go with it. The over-under went up a little bit, so, I don't know if you already locked in or maybe you think the rain will take a touchdown away from Ole Miss and maybe a touchdown away from MSU and maybe you like going under that 62. I don't know. And then your local bookie, there's no telling what those numbers look like. But I'm looking at Caesars and Covers.com right now, so you can basically pick your number as far as what direction you want to go. We've also got A&M at LSU. Can you imagine if Jimbo Fisher finishes 8-4?
And behind Mississippi State?
Yeah. I mean,
I just want to throw that out there.
Golly. Jimbo Fisher, baby.
Hey, but at least we beat Alabama.
We beat Bama. And I won a national title in 2013. Hey, Bo, do you know that Ed Ogeron's a better coach than Dan Mullen? Why is that? Because he's got a national championship. Gotcha. So, here we are, Jimbo at LSU, Kiffin at Mississippi State taking on Leach. That's a, delicious, delicious storylines. We got Harbaugh trying to get his first win against the Ohio State Buckeyes, one of Blake's favorite teams. And then we got a little bit of, Auburn, Bama. That doesn't have quite the sizzle we thought it would a couple weeks ago, does it?
20-point line.
20 points. And Saban's cutting commercials during the week? What are we going to do?
He's lost his edge. The dynasty's over.
Oh, my God. He's just not committed.
The real gamble now is the Saban dynasty over. It's who retires first, Tom Brady or Nick Saban.
We thought Mike Krzyzewski was going to stay forever, right? So now we're on to Nick Saban, and how long? I guess he and Belichick. I don't even think Belichick's checking up.
I was about to say Belichick's got easy another decade minimum, right? I mean, come on.
Well, then he'll run for president. So,
oh my gosh,
because we're really good at electing people over, 77, 78 years old. So Belichick can coach another 7 or 8 years. Perfect age to run the United States and allegedly the leader of the free world. The text line is already awake, and I want to say good morning to you. I didn't have access to the text line yesterday, and I do today. And so somebody asked us, is Bo, do you think Dan Mullen will coach again? And I don't think he's that good a coach. And I love when somebody says something like, because that's like, when you're framing that up, boy, it gives you a ton of wiggle room, Blake, right?
Really, way to really go out on a limb there.
Right. I don't think he's that. Okay. Well, tell me on a scale of 1 to 10, where are we?
That's why when people say
6,
when people say he's not elite, I'm like, okay, and name the coaches who are better than him, and I get a list of 8 names, and I'm like, so out of 130 teams, right, he's number 9. Woof! What
Here's
a terrible
what I can
career.
Tell you, he was elite at Mississippi State because his 2010 season, 14 season, 15 season, and 17 season, if you take those over 9 years, he was elite at MSU. Whether you like it or not, you can get mad at me. I wasn't the reason why they hired, it was run like country bumpkins, and they hired a bunch of, ridiculous people over the course of 80 years. But, and really had no mission to tee it up and lace them up and win. But, obviously, Dan did a magnificent job at Mississippi State. Did a great job for 3 years at Florida. I see Yahoos on Twitter talking about, he just wasn't successful at all.
29-6 prior to the shoe throw. It all comes down to the shoe, man.
It is. It's the shoe game. And, for somebody who liked to show off his shoes at SEC Media Days, it came back to bite him.
Oh, the irony.
Maybe it was the jump man thing. Or maybe it was the fact that, Dak wanted some of that space, and in the offseason, Dak trumped Dan and signed his deal with Jumpman. I don't know. Oh, Blake gets to watch his Dallas Cowboys tomorrow on TV against the Las Vegas Raiders. Big board coming up next. Good morning. Welcome in. Happy Thanksgiving to you and especially to Blake Mania. You're listening to 105.9 The Zone, ESPN, WRKS. We're streaming live on the Out of Bounds radio app. The Out of Bounds Show podcast is presented by Edwin Watts Golf Shop on County Line Road. Your golf game starts with Edwin Watts Golf Shop.
I mean, it's going to be loud. You're going to hate the sound of cowbells. You're probably going to hear cowbells for about 2 weeks after the game. It's stinkable to me. It stinks there. I don't like mud. It's just so muddy. I don't know. I just don't like it.
That was Jerrion Ealy. His team will play in Starkville tomorrow night against the Mississippi State Bulldogs, and running back for Ole Miss. I guess stirring the pot, so to speak, on a rivalry that has only gotten bigger, especially since 1991, because it is dead even. Of course, there's no difference in the programs. There won't be 30 years from now. And since 1991, it's just been a lot of back and forth. Cutcliffe, he ripped off 3 in a row. He took advantage of Mississippi State in a dumpster fire. And Mullen ripped off 3 in a row. And Mullen took advantage of Ole Miss in they were kind of, he did beat a Cotton Bowl team. So a little bit different than Cut. But I guess they went into a tire fire eventually. And, then we've had some twos and twos type stuff, right? Sherrill won 2 in a row a couple of times. Freeze won 2 in a row once. Moorhead won 2 in a row. And so I'm going, post Billy Brewer, right, since 1991. Obviously, Brewer owned Mississippi State, and Vaught's run was legendary, and that's where we are. But the last 30 years, you got an even Steven series, and if you want to count bowl games and things like that, I think it's kind of interesting. 2 teams have put, marquee NFL players in the league, Eli Manning, Dak Prescott, and a couple others that have made some noise and are considered some of the top players at their position. But Jerrion Ealy calls Starkville Stinkville to get this thing rolling. And that was from Monday, wasn't it, Blake? Because we didn't play it yesterday.
Yes,
right?
Yes, that's correct. I think it was actually post-game Vanderbilt.
Okay. All right. Cool. Well, either way, I think it's going to be, unless Mississippi State just can't get up and running. Now, getting slow out of the gate is not ideal in this game, period, but against Ole Miss. But unless Mississippi State starts out slow and can't ever get going, I expect this game to be super competitive and, back and forth. But I think most people look at it – well, I'm sorry. Most people aren't doing deep dives on the analytics like we are, but we're nerds. Is that Ole Miss plays much better in the first half than Mississippi State, and then it flips on that. The question is, what will the score look like? Or could MSU be up? They haven't done that. They, down 28-3 to Auburn, down 13-0 to Arkansas, down 10-0 to Kentucky, just to name a few in the last few weeks. So we'll keep an eye on the first few series and how the first quarter unfolds, and can MSU put a drive together. Ole Miss has been able to do that for the better part of the year. Get rolling, get going, and so on. So it's all about moving those chains and converting those 3rd and 4th downs, and you're hoping that you get an explosive play or two in the first quarter, depending on who you are. Again, Vegas has Ole Miss as the favorite, and I agree with that, by the way. Vegas takes the emotion out. They crunch the numbers, and there's a reason why they have a bunch of multi-billion-dollar companies out there. But the line started at -2, and then the public, which is driven by emotion, has swung it to MSU by 1. You can get it at 1.5 if you want, or you can buy it back to even. Blake,
that's right.
Just depends on what you want to do on the ATS.
You mentioned the first half and the importance of starting strong. Mississippi State averaging 12.5 points per game in the first half. Ole Miss averaging 21.
Yikes. All right. Well, so we'll see. I think, boy, a lot of pressure on Durkin and Arnett. Yeah. I mean, those are two solid defenses. Yeah. Not a lot of. I mean, Sam Williams is a good player. Forbes is a good player, but just not a not a tremendous amount of star power for sure. The star powers at the quarterback positions and some of the skill guys. Charles Cross going to be a first-round pick in the NFL draft. I lost that bet. And Ole Miss has several guys that are all SEC caliber on the offensive line. And kudos to Charles Cross, man, for growing up. Well, he won the Kent Hull Award a couple of days ago through the Mississippi Sports Hall of Fame and Museum. Beautiful place on Lakeland Drive. And, he's a Mississippi kid. Somehow was a 5-star, but you could probably argue that, but developed, the Leach was an offensive line coach for several years, right? We know that from reading the book, Swing Your Sword and The Perfect Pass. And, Leach and Mason Miller have done a great job with that young man. He's going to, like Matt Corral, he is going to be worth millions by May 1. So that's pretty cool. Matt Corral's going to go early. Charles Cross is going to go early. So we got 2 first-round picks on the field tomorrow night. Maybe more at some point. I don't know. We'll see how Forbes, career plays out and what happens with Sam Williams I don't think is going in the first round, but he could go, somewhat early. You've got some other Ole Miss offensive linemen that are drawing some eyeballs and attention. And then State's pretty much bringing back all their skill players. We'll kind of see what happens with Drummond and Sanders in the NFL and where, if they can make it and so on. So that's exciting. Corral, first-round pick. Charles Cross, first-round pick. And then maybe you got some guys that are going to go in the top 2 or 3 rounds. Hopefully we're trending in a better direction as far as NFL talent on the field. But when your quarterback is an NFL talent, dude.
Makes up for a lot.
Doesn't it? I mean, when your quarterback's not just an NFL talent, but a first-round talent, that's pretty awesome. I mean, that you've got something there. And, he's a great player. He has been great for Kiffin and Levy. He's been great for Ole Miss fans. He's fun to watch. Good Lord. Now, it won't be for Mississippi State fans tomorrow night, but the kid is a walking highlight reel just depending on what's going on. So he's had a hell of a career, and he had to earn it. His first 2 years were very, very rough. And then, boom, the last 2 years, his junior and senior year, he has played great football. So, all right, Out of Bounds, 105.9 The Zone, ESPN. We're brought to you by Dr. Kirk Jeffries, really good guy, and Eye Care Professionals and his team of surgeons and staff. 2 locations, and they're both on Lakeland Drive. One's in Jackson, one Belle Meade and Flowood. Eye Care Professionals, Dr. Kirk Jeffries. Blake Mania has breaking news. Blake?
Yeah, we've been talking about this name a lot. It may not be what we thought we'd say. Hugh Freeze signs a contract extension with Liberty through the year 2028, worth more than an average of $4 million annually.
Oh, my. Jimmy Sexton doing work. Oh, my goodness. Hugh Freeze. What's going on in the world? Liberty's paying their coach $4 million a year, Blake. I love that music, by the way. I love it. Hugh Freeze signs for $4 million a year. That guy's getting rich again. And Hugh's another one of those coaches, like Mike Leach, who's super, super frugal. You thought I was going to say something else. Super, super frugal. Hugh Freeze, $4 million a year at Liberty. Holy Mary old zap. Good morning. Welcome in. Happy Thanksgiving. SEC Insider hit next.
The Out of Bounds Show podcast is presented by the premium cigars at Havana Smoke Shop. Visit their 2 locations, I-55 in Jackson and on the Res, for your premium cigar needs. Only at Havana Smoke Shop.
Good morning. Welcome in. We are the Out of Bounds Show, WRKS, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. The battle for the Golden Egg will be played in Starkville tomorrow night. Ole Miss at Mississippi State. And it is Starkville, according to Jerrion Ealy, running back at Ole Miss. Vegas has Ole Miss as the favorite with no emotion. Just crunching the numbers. Vegas has Ole Miss as the favorite. The public with emotion swung that bad boy to around MSU as a favorite by a point. So you can call it however you want to see it. A toss-up, a push, or you can, I mean, we're receiving texts where people think Ole Miss by 14 or Mississippi State by 10. So who knows? Then we had one of our listeners on the Ag Up Equipment text line say, hey, Bo, most of the time when people think a game's going to go this way, it goes the other. That's true. We all just, kind of talk about what we think could happen. And there's too many variables to know. You're exactly right. We've thought some of these games would be competitive and they're blowouts, and we've thought they would be blowouts and they're super competitive. So who the hell knows at this point? I agree with you, man. Blake is live in the BankPlus Studio. I'm still on the road trip. And the party continues. Widespread Panic's got to be on the phone. The tour continues. And what we've done the last couple of weeks, man, we're going to have some fun in 2022. We're going to go on tour several times. I'm looking forward to that. Out of Bounds, 105.9 The Zone, ESPN. This is Blake Mania's favorite somehow. I know, I don't get it. But this is Blake Mania's favorite holiday. He's very emotional about it. It's got to be, it's got to be right. His plate's got to be right. What is served's got to be right. The temp in the room has to be right. Everything. And so this guy is salty but loves it. And that would be his Thanksgiving feast. He also wants to eat Thanksgiving, from what I gather, like 2 or 3 times afterwards. So be careful, whoever is I feel for your girlfriend, Blake. It sounds like there's a lot of pressure on her and your family members to make it perfect for your for the number one holiday, according to you.
I just expect people to meet the standard of excellence that I put out, and so it just
Fair
is
enough.
what it is. Yeah,
Fair
so
enough.
It's a championship standard, relentless strain.
You and Butch Jones. Although
Brick.
I don't know if he's going to make it in Arkansas.
We're building championships brick by brick.
Brick by brick, and we're putting a fence around it while we're doing it. So
And we're going to be champions of life.
we're going to be champions of life with bricks and a fence. So the Out of Bounds Show, 105.9 The Zone, ESPN, is brought to you by the Purple Mattress at Muskelly Sleep Store. And it is American-made, which I love. American-made mattress, the Purple Mattress. It's a mattress that reduces pressure. That's a good thing. And then it instantly adapts to your body. And then here's the kicker. The Purple Mattress doesn't trap heat. You can find it at any of the Muskelly locations. I drove by the one in Hattiesburg a couple of days ago. So Dr. V and the whole sleep mattress team will take care of you. Check out the Purple mattress. Go by there, lay on it, love on it. You'll love it. I've been sleeping on one for 5 months. I absolutely love it. The Purple mattress from Miskelly Sleep Store. We want to wish you and your family a very happy Thanksgiving. A lot of you are traveling. Be careful. Be safe. Have fun. Raise a toast. Enjoy some good food. And enjoy some football, man. We've got NFL early and throughout the day, and then we've got the battle for the Golden Egg, and then we've got games on Friday, and then we have more rivalry games on Saturday, and then we've got a big NFL slate of games on Sunday. And then how about this? You know, you think, okay, regular season. You know, we got the Rebs and the Dogs, and A&M and LSU and Michigan and Ohio State, you know, all these Blake's locked into Clemson, South Carolina, right? Florida State. Is Florida State trying to get a little bit better? I mean, they beat Miami and Boston College. I don't know. So we got these games, but then we still have the SEC championship game where everybody has just said, well, Georgia's going to win, and they will be the favorite. But, I mean, you're just going to count Bama out like that? Like Bama has no shot? Is that? In fact, I'd like to know, is that kind of your thinking going into that game? It's not mine, but I could be totally wrong. I mean, I'm good at that, right? I mean, I have to have a ton of opinions every day and every week. But so I'm not counting Bama out on 3. Now, has Georgia been better Labor Day to Thanksgiving? No question. But when I look at it, I mean, 3.5 hours, just a one-off?
Yeah, and
they don't have to play 12 times.
And Vegas is not sold that Alabama can't compete either. That early line opened at -4 for Georgia, which would be their closest line of the season since the opening game against Clemson.
Okay. So Vegas, again, taking the emotion out, Vegas has Georgia as a 4-point favorite. Okay.
How about this depressing statistic, too, if you're a Mark Richt fan, who I like Mark Richt, but... well,
you have to say that.
Yeah, he was a good guy.
It's part of being in sports media. No, you have to.
No, you're right.
You have to say, Mark Richt is a good guy,
but
and I like Mark Richt, and then you have to weigh in on how he underachieved at Georgia.
Yes.
Go ahead.
And speaking of underachievements, this will be Kirby Smart's 4th appearance in Atlanta with the Georgia Dogs in the SEC title game. 4th appearance out of 6 seasons. That would be one short of Mark Richt's 5 appearances over his, 15-year career, something like that. So already Kirby Smart up in the ante in Athens.
Hey, you got to give Mark Richt credit for allowing Jim McElwain to go to 2 SEC championship
Gary
games.
Pinkel, forget Jim McElwain.
Gary Pinkel to 2 SEC championship games. You have to give that man credit.
Hey, didn't Spurrier make one too? Spurrier made one too, right? South Carolina, yeah, they made one.
I think he made one. Out of those 3 years.
Yep, he made one.
We thought he made another one, but I was wrong. Again, I was wrong. People like when I say that. When he won 11 games 3 years in a row, I think Blake Mania, he only went to 1 SEC championship game.
That's correct.
Okay. All right. So, cool. Hey, Out of Bounds 105.9 The Zone ESPN, brought to you by the Purple Mattress at Miskelly Sleep Store. I've been sleeping on one for 5 months. I love it. It is just state-of-the-art technology. You got to try it out. Go lay down on one. You'll love it. They'll tell you all about it. It's made in America. The Purple Mattress from Miskelly Sleep Store. So let's talk about this. Out of Bounds 105.9 The Zone ESPN. Hugh Freeze. Isn't this amazing where we are right now, just in the world? And you know, you look at the opportunities and just the world's awash in money. And, you know, if you pick your spot, you can make a lot of it or whatever your number needs to be. But Hugh Freeze is making now $4 million a year at Liberty. And none of y'all knew that Liberty played football unless you're a degenerate gambler until Hugh Freeze took that job. Right? I mean, you thought it was kind of a shady.com.
It still is. Now they just have a football team.
and now and now Hugh Freeze just signed a $28 million deal.
Yeah.
With Liberty.
Through 2020. I mean, they were like, we're just inking him up, dude. 7 years, over $4 million on average guaranteed. I mean, that's insane.
He's not going to get a job again.
Why would you leave? Who cares? You're making so much money.
No, I mean, you're right. I mean, he's getting mega rich.
He'll take a pay cut if he goes anywhere that's not in the SEC.
Well, maybe. Yeah, a lot of places. I think you're on to something. He's obviously a heck of a coach. A little weird. But then again, our two guys that are going against each other tomorrow night are weird. But, golly, I mean, is he going to get a shot? We just keep asking this. At a top 25 or top 30 job. Or top 40 job. I mean, let's throw in like Louisville and Iowa State and Virginia and, jobs that are, nice jobs. But they're in the Power 5 for now, right? I mean, Minnesota, I'm trying to think. Texas Tech. Of course, they just hired a high school football coach from, was it Dave Aranda's staff, Blake?
I believe that's correct.
Okay.
Texas Tech hired McGuire. Yeah, Joey McGuire out of Baylor.
I keep thinking of Jerry McGuire.
He's
like Joe McGuire.
3-time state champion in Texas high school football, baby. He's a legend.
Well, who knows? It may work. But anyway, the point is Hugh Freeze is just signed a deal for $4 million a year for $28 million. Did we all pick the wrong profession? I don't mean to be mean, but I've been around a lot of assistant coaches, okay, in the SEC in my life. A lot. In football. Well, every sport, but let's stay with football, all right? And, I never really thought, wow, this is the top 1%. And so it's pretty, did we pick the wrong profession? I'm asking all of you. Because, you got a lot of people getting paid $500,000 to $1 million a year as assistant coaches. And, I don't know really a lot of them, right? The overwhelming majority of their value on the street is that high, but that's what the market demands now.
And outside of politics, is there any profession where you can fail upward more consistently?
That's a great question.
Seriously. Have you ever seen a job where you can continuously screw up and keep getting a higher paying job?
Yeah. I was going to go into coaching for years. And then I made the turn to sports marketing thinking, oh, man, this is the better play.
What an idiot.
Man. I can drop off a bag of cash. I can coach safeties. I can coach running backs, tight ends, receivers, outside linebackers. I don't know. Anyway, somebody just texted us. Let's go back to Hugh Freeze for a second. Well, I guess that's what we were talking about. 4 years, $4 million, 7 years, $28 million at Liberty, new contract. So he's waking up this morning, and he's like, man, nobody cares about Liberty football, and they just gave me $28 million. But somebody just texted and said, hey, yeah, they've got a $1.7 billion endowment. I know. People get on their website every day and give them money. It's incredible. It really is. What a model. Another $1.7 billion endowment. That is unbelievable. And they've spent a lot of money on football. And I don't know if anybody's going to let them in, though, Blake. Their conference.
Yeah, it's a weird, yeah.
I think people look at them as a shady business model. And they look at it and say, hold on, if we let them in, we don't have a $1.7 billion endowment, in the whatever, MAC, A10, Sun Belt, whatever G5, not G, yeah, G5 conference you're talking about. Interesting there. All right. So Hugh Freeze, maybe he's a lifer. I mean, will he be the one guy that can't overcome a scandal with all the scandals that we have, both in sports and in the world? I mean, we've had, like Blake said, we've had politicians go through major scandals and get reelected 4 more times. Maybe I picked the wrong profession. Maybe it wasn't coaching. Maybe I should have gone politics. Anyway, Out of Bounds, 105.9 The Zone, ESPN. If you're in Stark Vegas, game day, wine and spirits, Sellers Wine and Spirits in the historic Cotton District. It's right on Russell Street, right by the stadium, right by the campus. Sellers Wine and Spirits to get you ready for Thanksgiving and game day. Blake Mania with me. I'm your host, Bo Bounds. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for making us your sports and entertainment show of choice in the great state of Mississippi. I mentioned earlier we have 2 first-round picks on the field tomorrow night, Matt Corral and Charles Cross. They both play very, 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 very important positions. Matt Corral, of course, plays the most important position on the field. He's going to be a top 5, but if he slides at all, top 10 pick in the NFL draft, I believe, in late April. Charles Cross is moving up the boards. Some people have him at 14, 16, 17, 18. But a lot of people do have Charles Cross, left tackle, at MSU going in the top 20. And so he's played some great football for MSU. I mean, he's been a big piece of the puzzle to keep Will Rogers, this dynamic little dude that's growing up in front of everybody. I mean, he looks like a junior in high school, but dude can flat out, just spin it. But Charles Cross against A&M and Auburn and Kentucky and NC State and some other teams has been outstanding for Will Rogers and Mike Leach. And, of course, Mike Leach, former offensive line coach, and Mason Miller, the current O-line coach. This is a young man who 5-stars don't usually, I don't think. When we think of 5-stars, we think of refined and advanced prospects. I mean, the overwhelming majority of prospects that State and Ole Miss have signed and will sign for the rest of my life, your life, whoever's, will be, hopefully high 3-star players is where you would like to land, composite-wise. And they're going to need a lot of coaching and development, which is understood. Charles Cross, a little bit different deal. A.J. Brown and Jeffrey Simmons were ready to roll. Now, they needed coaching. They still need to grow up. They had not, faced that kind of competition and physicality when they walked on campus at MSU and Ole Miss. But Charles Cross, was, 40 pounds underweight, but he was a 5-star. And MSU had to fight off Florida State and Ole Miss and a little bit of Bama to get him. And he started playing better last year once he could kind of wrap his brain around what Leach and Mason Miller wanted from him with the air raid, because that's a different animal than 99.999% of our players' experience at the high school level or really anywhere. And then this year he decided to be one of the best offensive linemen in the nation. Incredible. And it goes so fast. He's got if he plays in the bowl game, he may, I have no idea, but I wouldn't blame him for opting out. I wouldn't blame him for playing. But, he's got plenty of film, for the dudes to look at. But you've got Matt Corral, first-round pick, and Charles Cross, first-round pick. Blake, that's pretty cool, right?
Yeah, I think 100% you've got 2 really high chance of first-rounders. Obviously, Corral playing quarterback, and then you could argue that the second most important position on that side of the ball is tackle outside of quarterback, right? And so
sure.
You've got 2 guys playing 2 of the premier positions in the NFL draft in terms of what teams value and what they want to try to go get. Also, Liberty did, I didn't say this earlier because I wasn't sure, I had to confirm it. Liberty did accept a bid. They're joining CUSA in 2023.
Oh, they are joining. Okay,
yeah,
I'd read an article maybe a couple weeks ago that it didn't look like that was going to go.
Yeah.
All right.
What I can tell, it is official that they are going to join CUSA. Probably once Southern once CUSA kept
Conference
losing.
USA got rated.
Yep,
so.
exactly. So why not bring Hugh Freeze will bring eyeballs to Conference USA, right?
Well, everybody stole their cars at night, and they woke up the next morning and there weren't any vehicles on the lot. So they had to go get some more vehicles, and so. Oh, we're going to go to the Farm Bureau Insurance call-in line, 601-995-1059. And Chuck would like to weigh in on the battle for the golden egg. Chuck, what do you have on your mind? I got a few seconds here, buddy.
Bo, I really think every time that I turn into the app, you start talking about widespread panic. It's awful coincidental. But anyways, the fall tour was great. Memphis, Austin, New Orleans, and capped it off with Chicago last week. Anyways, the golden egg, Mississippi State 35, Ole Miss 31.
All right, 30. All right, now, Chuck, I was going to ask Chuck what's the deal? It sounds like he can tour with widespread. Is he unemployed? Does he have a flexible job, or is he a trust fund baby? I need to know.
He called in when we talked about widespread like 6 months ago or something like that, and he called in and said he had been to like 100+ concerts or something like that of widespread.
Wow.
I remember him, yeah.
Wow.
He must be best friends with Jackson.
Okay. Well, I like widespread, but not that much. But then I don't know what I'll go to a restaurant 100 times, but I don't know about seeing somebody in concert that much. But I guess, hey, when you watch your team.
I was about to say, we've been to more than 100. Yeah.
Miss, you watch them. I felt like I still feel like I went to over 100 Mississippi State baseball games this past year. My life got real weird in June. I'd never made that run. Just, life and kids and work and all that. And it was really, really odd. But it was like Groundhog Day and weird, and I don't know how to explain it. But, man, when you make that run through all the regional, all the super regional, and half of Omaha. I didn't even go to all of Omaha, but half of Omaha, it gets a little weird. And on day 2, day 3 in Omaha, that gets a little weird too. Anyway, does that make sense, Blake?
Yes, 100%.
Okay.
100%.
I just want to make sure it wasn't
well,
me.
Look, as our good friend and now not now, but even more incredibly rich friend said, you got to put it all.
Freeze?
Yeah, you got to put it all down.
It's gonna be national championship time.
Yeah, when it's national championship time, you got to put it all down, baby.
Oh man, that's funny. All right, hey, I've got some. What time is it?
You got a minute.
Got it. Let's see. I have some Thanksgiving stuff for you.
Oh.
Did you know that the most searched pies in the past week? Most searched pies in the past week.
Like recipes?
Yeah.
How to cook them? Okay. All right.
Yeah. All right. They're pumpkin pie.
Makes sense.
This isn't in any order. Okay, I'm just giving you the. All right. Pumpkin pie is not good. Pecan pie, apple pie, sweet potato pie, and here's the last one: mud pie.
Yeah, like chocolate chess. Yeah.
I love chocolate chess.
I like that. Chocolate pie. I'm all about that. However you do it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, is anybody more high maintenance than you during Thanksgiving?
I'm not high maintenance.
I'd like to hear from our listeners.
I
don't need to
expect
hear
the championship standard.
Ag Up Equipment text line, 601-885-3776. All right. I need to know if you have a high-maintenance family member that you're going to have to interact with during Thanksgiving. Bring it. Bring the text. Bring the stories. Should I give something away? Let me think of something. I'm on the road, so I'm kind of not totally discombobulated, but, I'm just waking up in different places every day. It's weird, man. Out of Bounds, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. Brought to you by the Purple Mattress at Muskelly Sleep Store. American-made mattress. Reduces pressure, instantly adapts, and doesn't trap heat. The Purple Mattress at Muskelly Sleep Store. Good morning. Welcome in. Happy Thanksgiving. Back in a sec.